Album Review, the podcast where four totally unqualified guys review a different album every week in the hope of broadening our knowledge of music. However, we are easily swayed off topic and have no real idea what we are talking about. Today's album
is Justin Bieber, Justice.
Hello. So, I'm quite nervous. Hello. Sorry.
Joe's just making sure that he's heard within the first 5 seconds.
You can't get through it without being...
Otherwise Joe will be upset that he's not in it.
I know.
Bye.
So, I can start off by saying I hate going first for this because you never want to get shit on afterwards, do you? Because I have literally no idea what any of you think to this album. Because I'm expecting Denver to hate it because it's Justin Bieber and he hates him for no reason at all.
It's because he's Canadian, Will, and all Canadian people are assholes.
Apart from Shawn Mendes.
That's a stereotype. All Canadian people are bad people.
Shawn Mendes is actually Egyptian.
All Canadians are drug addicts.
Shawn Mendes, well-known Egyptian.
He sang that song about the Pyramid of Giza, didn't he? You know.
Yeah, in Japan.
Wonder.
Oh. Lost in Giza.
Lost in Giza.
No, it's really Wonder. You know, it's one of the...
Wonder. The Seven Wonders. Wow.
That's exactly.
Wow. This all makes sense now.
He's stuck in Cairo tonight.
Stuck in Cairo tonight.
I've just got images of being like dressed as a pharaoh now. Oh,
a couple 100 miles from the Nile tonight.
Oh wow. So I thought this album was actually fucking really good. And I would go as far to say that I think it's his best album so far.
Best album.
Woo!
Which I would argue before this I thought was the last one we reviewed, which I can't remember what it's called. Is it
Changes?
Love Yourself. Changes.
No, not Changes. We reviewed Purpose.
That was it. We didn't review his last album, like the most recent one. That's not this one.
Yeah,
We didn't review that.
I know. I remember when it came out, I was going to pick it, but I think it was too close, and then I just never ended up picking it. And this came out, so.
And the last album was bad.
It's crazy that he didn't release music for like 5 years, and then just back to back, he's just made 2 albums.
He had a bit of a hiatus. Basically went in hiatus for 5 years and sorted himself out. Became all religious and shit. And this
classic
is what's come
American
out of it. But
things.
to be fair, it's been much better since he's came back. Last album was a bit weaker, but fuck me. I just feel like this album is just an album of bangers. Like, I feel like there's only one song that I didn't actually like.
That's interesting, because I would say there was only one good song.
I think you're a bitch and you should leave. Only one good song. I don't understand this, right? Because I just feel like his voice is so solid and the music's great. There's so much variation. It's like put well together.
There's not really a lot of variation.
There is variation.
I think there's variation in the songs, but not the way he sings them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll agree.
I just
agree with that.
I just thought it was fucking great. Like, I don't understand how like you could go through this and not like it. Like, and I can understand with certain artists you can think that, but I wouldn't get that with this because I just feel like there's something in there for everyone, really.
Do you reckon Joe thinks that about metal albums?
But not metal.
But not metal.
I was gonna say.
There's not everything in there.
Did you hear the way he screamed
Where's the
that?
ska?
No, excuse me.
ska.
Martin Luther King, well-known metal artist,
Drug addict.
he was shouting.
Black man.
He is a well-known black man. That is true.
Probably the most famous black man.
I don't know about that, mate.
No, I'd argue it was.
Chadwick Boseman. we always get his name wrong deliberately as well.
Chadwick Boseman.
No, I would argue
It's not Bowman.
I always just do it because of fucking Black Ops. I'm just like, yeah, Bowman, of course.
What is his surname?
Son of a
Boseman.
bitch. Boseman.
Oh, Boseman. Oh, yeah, like the sound system.
I didn't even click onto that. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Neither did I. It's like, you said it right.
Smart and I'm hilarious. Thank you.
It's like the Mandela effect. Like, we just think it's Bowman.
I would argue Ainsley Harriott is the most well-known black man.
Oh, he is. He is a pretty well-known black
What a guy. Love
Give
him.
it a little rub-a-dub.
Oh, I love Ainsley Harriott.
So many great black people.
For God's sake, please stop.
No, cover our back.
Right,
That's nice. We're not racist. There are so
know
many,
our
there are
race.
so many great black people.
Just like so many great white people,
No,
you know.
no.
Just stop.
White
Let's just
people are bad.
forget this happened, all right?
The white man.
So, yeah. To be fair, I don't feel like there's much to say about this album other than it's just an album of bangers. I don't like. I've got like no massive bad points about it, to be honest. Although probably the Martin Luther King bits, I didn't really understand them being there. I guess it was kind of like a little hint to things that have been going on. But then I would argue it's weird that it's been put on this album because none of the
weird.
None of the album, none of the songs are speaking about
anything to do with that.
So it's like
it's pretentious as fuck. To be honest.
so it's,
Yeah, because he even takes extracts from Martin Luther King, but to try and repurpose it for his album. So, like, what Martin Luther King is actually saying can be, like, purposes his album. But obviously, what Martin Luther King was talking about is, like, injustice of the black people, and he's just like, yeah, I've had a hard life.
And I'm white.
no, it's just like I don't think he's talking about himself. I don't know. It's just kind of. I guess it was just like a little hint to things that have been going on, but again, none of the songs actually speak about it, so it's kind of a bit bizarre.
It just didn't need to be there.
Yeah, it was kind of just irrelevant, I guess. But other than that, I feel like every song had its own great moment. It's all solid, except for the worst song, which was Somebody, which I think was just a bit of a nothing song. But I would argue the only nothing song on the album. I think everything else was pretty great. In fact, I'd go as far to say it was extremely fucking hard to pick top three. Because I feel like genuinely 10 of them at least were fucking amazing. I feel like I'm like proper kissing his arse it, but I actually genuinely love this album. I'm not like biased in any way. I didn't know what to think, and I thought it was fucking great. Generally listened to this album way too fucking many times probably. Third for me, after much tribulation, is that the right word? Tribulation.
What does jubilation mean?
It basically means challenge.
Yeah.
I jubilate you to a... Oh,
no, not jubilate. Tribulate.
Tribulate.
Not jewel.
Because it's trials and tribulations. Like hardships, challenges.
Third for me was Anyone. Which was probably the hardest pick of the lot. Was picking the third because very close to that was As I Am with Khalid, which I thought was great. Throughout the whole week, I kept thinking certain songs were my favourite, and it just kept changing every time I'd listen to it, which I think is a good shout for like it just being a solid album in that it's really hard to pick a top three.
I don't know if Khalid and Justin Bieber's voices are kind of clashed. Like, As I Am, I can tell you now, isn't in my top three. Because, like, it was an okay song, but, like, I thought their voices didn't go well together, and they were constantly, like, competing.
Oh, I don't know, I
like,
loved
the
it.
Best singer.
Because when they did
I'm
that
not a
final
huge
chorus...
fan of either of their voices, so it didn't really bother me.
I like Khalid. I especially liked him on the Shawn Mendes songs. And what I'm trying to say is I wish I was listening to a Shawn Mendes album.
But not the most recent one.
See, I would argue Bieber's just a better Shawn Mendes.
No,
he definitely
literally
is.
isn't.
Better vocals, better range.
Nicer person as well, right, Will?
I wouldn't say
Nice
nicer
person.
person, just better range in voice
Yeah,
in
but
general.
if he's got better range, why didn't he use it? Why
This
do
is a
all
lot
Shawn
fucking
Mendes'
better than fucking Shawn Mendes' latest album.
songs feel fresh.
I would
Like,
argue
all
they
this-
don't.
A lot of these are just like it's just Justin Bieber just singing as he normally does.
And
He
also
never
what I don't
hits
like
it,
about
yeah.
Bieber's voice is he seems to just self-layer his own voice on every song unnecessarily.
Self-layer.
Like that, yeah.
Like, I feel like his voice, I'm pretty sure every song he has his voice layered. So, like, so he's sung a song and then they've just repeated it, so it's himself singing,
You mean
like, backing it to, like, give it even
mean-
more...
a double track?
Yeah.
Is what everyone does. That's just a
Every
standard
artist
practice.
does that.
Yes.
But it's almost like
But,
he's
like,
done it
so
as
it's done
a hard-
slightly-
But I
off.
hate him for it.
No.
I don't understand.
Well, no, you wouldn't, Will. Because you're sucking his dick.
I'm not sucking his dick. I just
You're
genuinely thought
being
his album
very
was great.
unnecessarily aggressive towards anyone putting forward their views.
No, because that view is
All you
like that's
did
what
was
every artist does.
You insulted Shawn Mendes, Will, out of nowhere. That wasn't okay.
If you break down any song, there's usually about 20 vocal layers in like one part.
Exactly.
and they're all just mixed together that well that you can't really notice.
Thank you, Joe. I'll add that to the list of things I care about.
Thank you.
Do you do that with your songs?
Yes, I do actually.
Sometimes. It depends if it's a good song or not. So it doesn't.
I maybe don't do like 20 layers, but, you know.
Second for me was actually...
Did you say third?
Yeah, third was anyone. Just anyone, because I just love how it builds to the end. I didn't think it was going to be in my top 3, just because I've heard it obviously so many times before listening to the album. But I just think in terms of like the songs as a whole, it's just I couldn't not put it in the top 3. Just the build in it's fucking great, and the meaning and stuff. I love it. Second for me was actually Peaches. Very close to being first. Every single person I spoke to about this album, outside of you guys, that has been the one song that they've loved the most. And I don't like...
I know why that is.
Why?
It's because most people are white bread, and that song just repeats itself over and over again.
It's a very TikTok-y song.
It is definitely
It's just so
song.
chill. Like, I fucking... It's just you vibe out
It's like
to it.
Daddy Cool, that song.
It's not like Daddy Cool. Anything that repeats itself is not like Daddy Cool, though.
It is.
No.
It is.
It's like Johnny.
Justin Bieber just has the same line. It only changes up when the other two sing.
It's just so, like...
What is Daddy Cool?
The song Daddy Cool.
Daddy
Daddy
Cool.
Cool.
Daddy Cool.
It's just like the whole song.
Is that actually the lyrics of that song?
Yes, that is the whole song.
Shit.
Yes, it's not quite that bad, but it does just repeat.
It does, but it still works. It's just fucking great. It's just so vibe. I've had to literally set it as like not an alarm, but I go to my new Google Nest Minis. I go good morning, and then they play this song because it's just fucking. It's great. It just puts you in a great mood. It's very chill.
Didn't realise we were sponsored by Google here.
Well, we are now.
How much are they paying us, Will?
I also wake up using my Alexa Show 8 to play People by the 1975.
I wake up using my phone alarm.
I was hoping it was going to start doing it.
It did. It heard me for a bit and it cancelled.
Oh, shame. But yeah, that's like everyone outside of you guys. That's like their favourite song. Which I've spoken to at least, and then, but yeah, and I didn't think it was going to be within the first few listens, but then it's just fucking grown on me, and I love it. First for me though, it's just the song that I couldn't get out of my head, and that is "Hold On." I think it's just the lead line, like the hook on it. I think is great, and the backing's fucking ace. The music video is actually really cool as well, and
but I can't see.
It just stuck in my head. In terms of honourable mentions, there's just fucking so many that could have been top 3, so I won't even go into that. But yeah, it sounds like I've really sucked his dick here, but I genuinely fucking loved it. No bias at all, because I thought his last album was a bit trash, so I didn't know what to expect from this, and this was fucking great.
That makes you not biased then.
I don't think it's biased in any way, because I don't think like he's one of my favourite artists.
Admitting that the last album was bad means that it's not biased anymore.
I think it does, because it's like, I'll admit if it's shit. But I thought this was genuinely really good. Like, I loved it. Although I did think the Kid Laroi one was a bit...
disappointing, wasn't it?
Disappointing, yeah.
I expected the Kid
I
Laroi
agree,
to bring it
because
up.
I like Kid Laroi.
It's just a bit of a zoned out one. I was expecting more from it, but I'd argue the best feature other than Khalid was probably Dominic Fike. I thought
Chance the Rapper.
Their voices worked really well together. I love Dominic Fike as well.
Well, you don't like Chance the Rapper?
He's good, but that song's probably better with
I really feel like DJ Khaled should have been on this.
He does a lot of songs with him, doesn't he? So.
I love DJ. No, I don't.
I thought
DJ
Khalid and DJ Khaled were the same thing.
It wasn't just like,
Of course you
this is
did.
just when I'm not a DJ, I sing properly.
Yeah. God, that's good.
It's like, imagine like
It's
Shawn
an
Mendes
alter
doing the
ego.
same thing, just makes dance music. DJ Mendes.
I would listen to that.
The alter ego, I love it.
Well, the alter ego is surely the Mendes brothers that were at Leeds Fest, so you guys didn't go see. Very disappointed. They were in one of the tents, apparently. You not remember? Guys, think back.
No.
Think back. Use your brain. There was a couple of DJs called the Mendez Brothers.
Nice.
Oh yes,
shit.
I do remember.
Yes, I do remember actually.
God,
did see him.
you guys are making me feel stupid here. My
How do you
brain
remember
is
shit like that?
I'm autistic, Will.
Good point. Okay. Joe? Is it Joe?
Hi. Yeah. So you don't know what I think of this, do you, Will?
I don't know what
At all?
anyone thinks to this.
No.
Other than
We
Denver's a
also
bitch.
don't care. Sorry, Denver. Your review, please.
Oh, okay.
I thought my review would be
Sure.
better than Joe's review, hence why I'm going next.
Thank you.
No,
It
I want
is.
Joe.
Why do you want Joe?
I feel like Joe won't be hateful. Well, he probably is going to be. But
Well, that sounds like you're biased, Will. No, I'm not biased. I hated his last album. It was
no,
shit.
because when you're passionate about it, it's like it's shit when other people don't like it.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
shit when people insult Shawn Mendes,
How
Will.
do you think I feel, Will? My whole music taste is based around shit that you guys hate.
Yeah, to be
Because
fair.
it's shit, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I really liked Purpose, which is the old album.
Out.
I'll-
So I was expecting good things. Got a pretty average album, really. Sorry, I'm really sorry.
Kawaii?
It was a bit boring. I felt like it was way too long. Like all the
Way
songs
too
kinda-
long?
Yeah, it was like over an hour.
No,
It was 45 minutes, Joe.
Shit, was
Did
I
you
listening
listen to the
wrong
deluxe one?
I may have listened to the deluxe one. Shit. That's
Brilliant.
okay.
Classic
Joe,
Joe.
what does your last song?
That's okay. I'm gonna just make sure I haven't put any songs on there that aren't on the album. Okay, maybe not too long. Maybe about a normal length for an album. I've literally wrote in my review, start with the bad points, too long. And
God damn
it's
it.
not even too long. Well, this throws a nail in the works, doesn't it? Is that the saying?
A nail in the work. I love
spanner.
Joe's just incorrect saying.
I don't know how you've done this because the deluxe album only came out on Friday.
That means he's only started listening to the album since Friday.
Yeah, that
Basically,
makes
this
sense.
means because I started listening to the album like on the Monday, but obviously the last 2 days I've obviously been listening to the deluxe instead.
Oh shit, boys!
To be fair, it's
the
worth listening
baby's
to
on
some of
it.
the
The
new songs.
baby's
It's
like the
amazing.
new hot meme.
The Jaden
Isn't
Smith
it?
one's great. And two
Anyway.
others are great.
Justin Bieber's got a good voice. Like I'll give that to him, but he doesn't really show it in this. Like he's good. Like he doesn't do anything bad, but it was just all a bit monotone, all a bit boring. No passion behind any of it, and it kind of just made me feel a bit floppy. Not in the penis.
Not erect.
Not in the penis. Just
I
my-
feel very flaccid.
my whole body was a bit flaccid.
If I don't get a boner, it's not good.
What does that say for metal music when my dick crawls back up inside me?
That's called a woman.
I'm a woman.
And it's a shame because this type of music is like right up my alley. It's kind of got that lo-fi kind of
Metal.
vibe to it.
I didn't hear
Um,
any screaming in this, Joe. I don't know what the fuck you're
No.
talking
I
about.
don't know, Justin Bieber's voice is pretty close.
Ooh. Row!
We'll
God
find
damn,
it.
he's out. He's got the claws.
But yeah, I was pretty thrown off just with how boring it was because I thought I was into it and then I was not. There you go. That's my very quick summary of this album. My least favorite was "Love You," because it literally had the lyric, "I'm going to treat you like a mother. Let's make babies."
Yeah, it
Thought
did.
that-
Oh my god, I wrote that.
I also wrote that.
Thought that was a bit creepy.
Let us make the baby.
I'm gonna treat you like a mother. Let's have babies. Just a bit of a weird one. Bit of a weird one, that one. But yeah, that was my least favourite. My top three. There was like, don't get me wrong. I'm being a bit of a downer on this album and acting like I didn't like it. I did like it. It was just a bit boring. So there was like other songs out of my top three that I did like. And don't get me wrong, a couple of these I might even add on to my 2021 playlist, which
No
is...
one cares. Fuck.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, it's just you bring it up every time. Your fucking 2021 playlist, as if people are going to be out there searching for it.
No,
let's hear what Joe's listening to. Oh, it's awful. It's just like, fuck me.
Our fans care.
The reason I say that, there is a song on my top 3 that's already on the thing. I'm just going to have to reiterate for that.
Reiterate.
Reiterate. And the reason, what was I just saying?
Don't know.
2021 playlist. The reason I bring that up is because when I say, "Oh, I'm gonna add this onto my 21 playlist," it's a sign that I liked it.
Oh no, definitely.
Whereas I just do something called liking it.
Hilarious.
So I need to change my third favourite here. So I'm just going to say that on the deluxe edition, my third favourite was "There She Go,"
Brilliant, a song we didn't listen to.
featuring Lil Uzi Vert.
Hey, Lil Uzi.
Which was a bop. It was a bop of a song, that, but I can't. It's not in this album.
I'd also like to say that I liked "Tightrope" by Don Broco. That also wasn't on this album.
Wasn't.
But
No, you're right. It wasn't.
So third for me was Bibi Yabi, yeah. Second for me was Barcelona.
Yeah.
I love Bibi Yabi, yeah.
for me, it was Nancy Mulligan. Second was Barcelona.
I like the way he goes, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, and then the number one was obviously my
Cat on
favourite
the Hill.
Arctic Monkeys song.
Are you mine?
Are you mine?
What's your stitch or what's your smoke?
You
Yeah.
want to know?
So my third favourite is now "As I Am," because it had a decent chorus. Well, not the chorus. It was just that kind of like hook, at the beginning.
Take me
I
as
like
I am.
Specifically at the
literally
beginning.
Specifically
The
that
first,
bit
like,
at the beginning.
Those
What
10
was,
seconds you listen to.
You know your least favourite? How do you spell that?
It just love you, different. Love you different.
What do you mean, how do you spell that?
I just didn't know the spelling
Of what?
of "Love You Different."
Oh,
Denver, are you okay?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
on.
Yeah. So I didn't realise listening through this, because it's a very new album, there's actually like loads of songs that have been out for quite a while that I'd heard before that I had no idea was Justin Bieber, including "As I Am." Another one was "Holy." That one, didn't know that was Justin Bieber. That's been out for quite a long time as well.
As I Am hasn't been out for a while.
Holy, very
As
bad
I Am
song.
came out with this album.
No, it did not.
Fucking Joe.
Yes, it
No,
did.
it did
Hashtag
not.
Joe
They're
facts.
just lying.
I'm
You
telling
are.
you it did not. I'm telling you right now it did not.
Joe, it didn't.
No,
it came out with this album. It wasn't a
Well, I
single.
mean, considering Holy was a single and has just nearly 400 million, and As I Am only has 24 million.
Only. Fuck me.
The
The singles was Holy,
and also
Hold
Anyone.
On,
Anyone
and
for a while.
Lonely. It was
Yeah.
4 singles.
Yeah.
5 singles.
Oh, what was the other one? As
So
Am
it's
I.
"Holy,"
As I
"Lonely,"
Am.
"Anyone," "Hold On," "Peaches."
Peaches was one.
You can always tell when they're a single
No.
because on Spotify on your phone they have a little video.
I think Peaches became a single when this album came out.
Yeah, possibly. Oh, hang on, wait. This is so. I'm getting this from
Wikipedia. Unreliable
Wikipedia,
source.
and it says "Peaches" is a single released on the 30th of March. For reference, it's now the 28th of March.
Hold on. Hold on. Uh-oh.
So, I was
This is,
correct.
this is
Future
another
single.
Mandela effect. We're just living 2 days in the past. Uh-oh.
Right.
God.
Anyway.
what was
My
your second favourite?
second favourite is "Deserve You."
Oh.
I liked that one. Second
Deserve.
song on the album, isn't it? Because I actually kind of liked the first song on the album as well. Too much. But I didn't like...
I would argue. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm being. Yeah.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
"Deserve You."
Yes.
Had more of an upbeat feel to it. I liked it. It was good. And my actual favourite, I think it's not going to be a controversial one. I always say this, and then it's never controversial.
Controversial. It's
never
controversial.
It's never controversial. And I I don't think you guys are going to be like, oh my god, that's not the obvious first.
You're so different and quirky.
But I feel like Aiden, it might be Aiden's. I'm not sure.
Maybe you added it to your 2021 playlist.
I probably will. It's Ghost.
No, it's
controversial.
That's a controversial choice.
Oh, shit, you've picked a song called Ghost as your favourite before because it auto-corrected it.
Ah, amazing.
Wait, was that Chasing Ghosts?
Just the
No, because it's just the word ghost. That must have... I'm trying to look through the history of
Mayday
that
Parade?
song.
Ghost
been a
from Monsters
song?
in the Closet?
No, I don't think we've done that album.
Did we not? We should.
Yeah, damn right.
Because the way it works is if like something in that line also has that word. It's...
I've typed in Ghost because it usually comes up with songs that you've listened to called Ghost. It's not come up with anything. It's come up with Ghostbusters
Oh.
Brilliant.
by various artists.
I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, the acoustic drop in that song is fucking great, and the mix with like the EDM vibe is great. Yeah, really like that song. And the like lead kind of line in the chorus that he sings is probably the best in the whole album, I would argue. So yeah, I really wanted Name to be good, which is wait, that's not on this album. Never mind.
Oh my god, Joe.
But all in all, yeah, it was just kind of bang av for me, bit boring. Like the production though, the production was good, and that's me. Thank you. I'm going now.
All right, see you later.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
My favourite member of CT.
Thank you.
Yeah, what's up?
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, Justin Bieber. What a lad.
Shut up.
What a guy.
I wonder if Will's biased against this.
I'll tell you what, it's difficult. When Will's like, every song's a banger, I can understand that in the way of, I don't like his voice.
Okay.
And because of that, I don't really like many of the songs. But I don't hate any of them. And I feel like my review will probably sound worse than I actually thought it was. I thought it was very okay.
Yeah.
I think there is variety in there, but I think all the best songs were a certain style, and I feel like the variety wasn't mixed very well in the album. Like, to me, the latter half of the album is better than the rest of the album. Like, all the best.
Really? Because I'd say anything after like 12 onwards could be gone from the album, and I wouldn't care.
No, I think like 12 onwards is like the best part of the album.
I feel like you didn't listen to it, maybe.
But I feel like this is for a very particular reason. I think it's because, I say it's the best part of the album, they're all very similar there, and I think they best mask his voice, which I don't really like too much. Or at least the effect they seem to... There's something about his voice I just don't really like. Then in a few songs, it sounds all right to me. So I don't know if it's some sort of effect or way it's mixed.
Maybe we are wired the same way, Denver.
Well, maybe what?
It says maybe we are wired the same way. But you'll find out in my review. I've written something really weird, which is also about his voice. It just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, there's just something about... I feel like in some songs, though, it doesn't happen. And he's all right. So I'm like, it must be something they're putting on his voice.
Or it's just his voice in general. And maybe the thing putting it on makes it tolerable.
Maybe. Yeah, like I say, it may be because the songs like 12, 13, 14, I feel like are very similar in vibes and feel. Like, my notes on them were kind of the same.
Yeah. I mean, they're very similar title as well.
Yeah.
True.
Like Peaches and Love by You. So
similar.
Yeah, a lot of L's in the end there. Love different, love you different, loved by you, lonely. Also, the Martin Luther King was in there for no reason. He's just taken extracts from it and used it for his own purpose. But even in his like interlude in the middle, he actually cuts off before he finishes saying the word justice. It's like, justice, and it cuts off.
Yeah. That's
it's like a very hard. It's a very hard crop.
Bad sound engineering. Didn't notice it though.
But I wonder if it's done like that because I've never heard the original speech there. But I wonder, you can sometimes hear people in the crowd. So I wonder if somebody
just shouts
shouting
the N-word.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's hard cut because of that reason. It must be why would you
I bet it was an Adam Driver guy.
No, because justice is the first word in Die For You. It isn't cut out. It's put into the next song.
What? What?
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. You play Die For You. It doesn't start off with Martin Luther King going justice.
He says it at the start.
No, it doesn't. It starts off with an instrumental. And it starts off with him going ba ba da ba da. That does not start off with Martin Luther King.
I don't understand this right.
Wait,
so
what song are we talking
when
about?
I click Die For You, yeah, it doesn't start with it. But when you go if you get right to the end of the MLK interlude, if you go on the final few seconds, he says justice as it turns to the next song. It starts saying
it. Plays the next song.
No, he says justice when it starts showing the next song.
Spotify does that automatically.
I don't think it does that.
It does. It automatically mixes songs like that.
Oh no, Denver's right. It does go juster. It says, "Will not stand for justice." You just don't notice it. Maybe the first note sounds like a "is" sort of noise. Is. You know.
I hear the full word.
Yeah, I do.
No, but I think that's your mind finishing it off.
Is it Yanni or Laurel?
Yanni. Anyway.
I feel like Die For You was a bit of a weird song to put in after the MLK interlude, though, right?
I would die for you.
I feel like
Mr.
MLK just has no reason to be in this album.
No, it doesn't.
It's not if the album was about injustice, then fair enough. But it's about his own things. It's not anything to do with the events that have been going on. But it's as if he's put those in there to make it seem like it kind of is.
Well, who are you to say what it's about? You're not Justin Bieber.
That's true.
You know what? You're right.
Maybe it is about injustice. It's my favourite.
I mean, that's why I want to taste them peaches back in Georgia.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do.
I want to be like you, me, be mummy, me make baby.
Which song was that in?
That was also in. Was it Love You Different or was it Peaches? Joe, which one was the baby one in?
The baby.
No.
Not the baby.
No, it was Love You Different.
That was it. Love You Different.
Yeah, it was a bit. So the lyrics are kind of a bit questionable.
Just looking as well, and people are confused as to why he's put it in. We're not the only ones thinking this. So there's people saying,
I can't wait for the interview.
It's full of love songs about his wife, and then there's just two MLK speeches.
We need to find an opportunity.
All Americans.
Yeah, people are. I think he's getting a bit of
If
backlash
you
from
would
it,
be like I am at 38 at 90, you would be 38, and I would be 90.
I mean, it does make sense. As in, it does make sense why he would be getting backlash. You know, it's we don't just randomly cut to a fucking. I don't even know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Probably.
And also, I was really into the Martin Luther King. I just loved him saying, "Got to find the opportunity."
Okay, Jenny.
Joe's laugh of the day.
Standard laugh today. Anyway, yes, Kid Leroy's song really disappointing. Even though I still like to hear Kid Leroy in there, the song was just flat. So it didn't really go anywhere. A lot of older vibes in this album. Some of these songs could have been made a few years ago, I think, but sort of 80s, 90s, which I feel like quite a few artists are doing at the moment. They seem to all be jumping on that older vibe bandwagon.
It's hip and in. It was while the Twin Towers were still standing and everything was fine.
I mean, that's John Lewis's song.
John Lewis.
Elton John's song, I'm Still Standing.
Terrorism didn't exist back then.
It's I saw this thing before that was about, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
But why was 10 scared?
Why?
Because it was between 9/11.
He was in 9/11?
It was between 9/11.
Yeah, but between... What does that mean?
As in between 9 11.
Yes, yeah, but like, what does that mean in context of the joke? Where was 10? Was 10 in his apartment?
Ground zero.
So
10 was
10
falling.
was stood between the two towers.
And died.
Well, yeah, of course he died.
Just like the song Die For You.
By Elton John.
Which starts off... with... Martin Luther King. Oh, God, this review's a bit cursed, isn't it? Yeah, and the final point was poor distribution, because I think similar theme song... Well, no, that's a bad point. Just similar style of songs were grouped together in points, mainly at the end. Like, I just think the ones at the end all had a similar feel, and they could have just been mixed in a bit better. Anyway, least favourite, Deserve You. I thought it was quite boring and lackluster, especially as a start, so it didn't set me off very well. I did prefer the latter half of the album just because I prefer those style of songs. So often when I finished the album, I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. But every time I started the album again, I was like, this is just meh. And it was recovered by the latter half of the album. Having said that, though, my third favourite was As I Am, which was at the start of the album.
Nice.
With Clean in there. I think it was a slower like piano piece, and I liked the slow build it had, the sort of grander feeling chorus. Even though I don't really like Bieber's voice or Khalid's voice that much,
but
I thought it was a good
together,
song.
Combined.
Well, not even combined, because I don't think they really combined as such.
I did at one point, and it was bad.
But I'm not a huge fan of either of them, but I could appreciate it was a good song. Second for me, despite the cringe lyrics, Love You Different, I did say is my second favourite, just because it was a solid like dance beat, and it made me want to dance to it. And that was literally it. Because, yeah, the lyrics were cringe, but I just ignored those and was just liking the beat. But number one, now this song I did genuinely love, and it's the whole reason it. I don't know. I thought this song was fucking great, and I could listen to this on repeat. And that was Ghost.
Oh.
I thought Ghost was fucking great.
That's controversial.
I loved it had a classic Denver hook moment. And I loved how the chorus broke down and just cut everything out, and it was just like a guitar and him singing. I thought he sounded really good on that song. That's why I was like, why does he sound shit on song? But like Ghost, he sounded really good on. And that song just wasn't long enough. Like, it was the shortest song, I think, on the album, other than like the interludes. And
I mean, if it was longer, though, he'd find a way to ruin it.
Maybe. But that's the only song where that came on, I was hitting it on repeat.
Nice.
Every other song, that was kind of okay or meh. Like I say, there wasn't really bad songs on this album. It was just meh or okay. Apart from Ghost, which was fucking brilliant. I loved it. It's probably my favourite ever Justin Bieber song I've heard.
God damn. That's high praise.
So that is in my liked songs.
Oh, nice. He's making it a thing. Hopefully it'll kill off Joe's thing. And then everyone will stop doing it.
But yeah, Ghost is fucking great. And that's my review.
Oh.
Aiden.
Hmm?
It's you.
Is it though?
It's up to you.
That's deep.
Like, why are we blowing up that fountain on the B site on the map Inferno? The fish fountain.
Is it though?
Is it though?
Deep.
It's a message. Is it though?
Is it though?
I want to start by saying that, similar to Denver, I don't really feel like I hated any of the songs on this album. But, like, you know, most of them were decent in some way or another. I don't really have an issue with them. And this is where it goes into weird territory, right? So this might sound weird, and I don't know how to explain it, but all of Justin Bieber's songs, and, like, the way he sings, they feel, like, so clean and, like, safe and smooth. Like, no edges.
Not
like,
metal.
I don't know if that means anything to you guys or if I've actually finally lost it, but like...
Well, there's a good point, actually, that you bring up there, because I remember seeing, and Will would have seen it as well, because I started to try and watch it, but there was a documentary series on YouTube with Justin Bieber,
Right.
like a year or so ago. And I remember I watched the first one to see if I could, like, understand him, and I watched one and got bored. And he's like... I remember there was clips of him in the recording studio of recording the same line over and over and over and over because it just wasn't like perfect in his head.
Yeah, it was like a massive
perfectionist.
Like, yeah, so I think the reason it sounds like that is because it's so like he's probably micro adjusting every little word of it.
But that's the problem. It's just like sometimes the imperfection is what makes the song good. So because everything's so safe and smooth and fucking, like, no edges, no nothing, like, to me, a lot of it is just boring.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason Ghost is one of my favourites, because I think that's one of the songs that doesn't sound as clean as the rest of them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, and sorry, just a quick sidetrack.
No, you're not allowed.
It was the song Ghost from Alaska Phoenix was what Joe put in his third favourite. That's why he's got before.
What was that? Was that a metal album?
That was How
Alaska,
to
yeah.
Ruin Metal. It was the one that had the metal vocalist in it, but the singer was really good.
Yeah.
That's most of them.
You gave it a 5.
I'll give it a 5. It probably had a lot of singing songs in it, though.
Yeah, we actually pretty much had the same top 3 and least favourite.
Yeah, well, we're pretty smart, me and you.
Pretty smart, big brain. Anyway, yes, back to...
But, yeah, I did actually enjoy my time with this album. I felt it was pretty short, but that being said, with Bieber, what the fuck have I written here? Right. With it being short, it felt good being short. Short? I'm short. You're short.
What the fuck is happening?
What have I written?
Short Bieber is 5'11".
But I did enjoy my time with this album, even though it felt pretty short. But that being said, with Bieber never really mixing it up how he sings. Oh, with him never mixing up how he sings, I think that it being longer would have ground my gears. And because of that, he definitely needed the additional artist to keep the album from going stale a lot of the time. Yeah?
I don't get that, but I feel like he does switch up how he sings.
He doesn't. He literally never does.
He doesn't.
He does.
It's genuinely always the same. He's got like 3 types of voice. He's got like his airy voice, his verse sort of singing voice, and his high-pitched chorusy voice.
Ah.
And that is it. He very rarely mixes it up between them 3 things. The worst song for me... No, Justin Bieber is... Go on.
5'9".
5'9". Is he short? Is that short?
It's I think that's like bang average, isn't it? 5. No, I think a 5'10", 5'11" is average male height. So
Well, I'm 7'3".
it says Bieber can look 6 foot tall because of his physique. He is the perfect example of someone who appears tall but isn't because of his body proportions.
I don't think he appears tall.
I don't know. I thought he was taller than that.
Have you seen him in real life?
No, but you see him stood next to anyone, he looks short.
Well, I don't often see him stood next to people.
Justin Bieber in crowds.
Oh, here he is committing a terrorist act.
Oh, I don't know. He looks pretty tall here.
It's just at a children's concert, Denver.
Look how tall he is.
God, he's so tall. Look at him. God damn. Who is that in the background? Is that Ariana Grande? Just like walking off. She's also massive.
That's just some... it might. I tell you, it does look a bit like Ariana Grande if it isn't, but just for reference, for the people listening, it's clearly Justin Bieber stood on a box in front of the crowd. You can't see the bottom of his legs, so it looks like he's just giant over everyone else.
Fucking huge.
Like their hands don't even go above his torso.
I wish I was that tall. Then my body proportions would make sense.
Or what, stretch you out?
Yeah, stretch me out. I'm having ankle extension surgery.
just breaking your foot and then letting it regrow.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
The worst
Will's
song.
been quiet. He must have died.
No, it's alright. Will's just happy that we're doing this album.
He's just so happy. He's quiet.
Sorry, I'm just it's okay.
It's hard to hear everyone being wrong about my album. That not biased
it's weird.
About.
Perspective is everything. Because I just like genuinely love this so much. I thought
you're
great.
feeling now how Joe feels every other week.
It's so bizarre, isn't it? How like you can have completely different experiences. Like, and just I don't know. I just find it crazy. So I'm just reminiscing. Carry on. Sorry.
I found it weird that we've all picked a different least favorite, or have we? Like you and
Mine was somebody.
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't really mostly listening for Denver and Joe's. Did you both pick the same worst one, or was
No? So me and Joe had almost the same everything, except our second favorite and least favorite swapped around.
Exactly. So my least favorite was also different. It was Lonely. I thought it was a bad song, like, to end the album on account of the fact that it's just boring as hell. Lonely is just a nothing song. And like I say, 12 onwards, they're all, to me, nothing songs. I'm just like, meh. They could not go in my 2021 playlist and I wouldn't be bothered. You know?
Mm.
And then we get into the nitty-gritty of it, the top three. Third favourite, Off My Face. Just a nice, chill acoustic song. So obviously that appealed to me. And the idea of being off my face also appealed to me.
It's just a win-win song.
It's a win-win.
You don't often get that in album review these days.
For that nice little second favourite in there. Ooh, that was Hold On. I think the chorus in Hold On is pretty great.
It is.
Like, especially in the later harmonies of the song.
I think it's the most 80s song on there, right? Maybe. That's why they're pulling
I
it
thought
for me.
Die For You was the most.
I quite like it.
Very different picks here.
Well, I am different, Joe. But my first favourite...
Do you love different?
My first favourite is unbelievably controversial. You wouldn't believe how controversial my first favourite is.
Is it Cancer?
It's anyone, isn't it?
No, I'll tell you how it's so crazily controversial that you wouldn't even believe.
Is it Ghost?
Of course it's fucking Ghost.
Every fucking time I say it's going to be controversial, it's never fucking controversial.
I didn't originally think that this one was going to be in my top three. I always thought it was going to be Hold On and I was going to have to fucking pick a name out of a hat for my third favourite kind of thing. But, like, it just grew on me. And, like, the way that the like, production and the instruments and stuff, they build in the song. But in a lot of the other songs, they sort of go a bit overboard. In this song, it never goes, like, silly.
Yeah, because it cuts it out for the chorus, and it's just
right. It hits different, fam. Am
so
I with
good.
the kids now? It hit different, fam.
Oh, I fucking love how this
controversial.
It's
going to be a controversial one, guys.
It's the most popular one.
But yeah, overall, I can't believe they got Martin Luther King to sing on this album.
Back from the dead.
He's back, baby!
It don't matter if you're 38, like I am.
Martin Luther King's brand new hit single, My Spine Be Snapping.
Spine be snapping.
Interesting fact about how he got shot. Because it was from below, it did actually ricochet up through his body. Severed his spine in like 3 places.
I always get confused between the Martin Luther King sniper and the other one.
JFK.
JFK.
Yeah.
Classic Americans. Just, you know what, you don't like something, just shoot them.
There was a second shooter, though, on the grassy knoll. Why was this man holding an umbrella when it was a sunny day? Probably a time traveller. I love those theory videos. They're terrible.
They're cool, like those pictures of that guy who died the day before.
But wait, enhance on that, is that man holding an iPhone?
Exactly.
Time traveller. And you know he's a time traveller because he's not using a shitty Android, so he can actually take a picture properly with the iPhone.
Oh.
Did I ever send you that like chart of like improvement? It was like a graph where it was one side it was improvements of camera resolution, but then next to it was improvements of resolution of UFO sightings. Like how they have been the same.
Not got any better.
Yeah, UFO sightings have not got any clearer, and yet cameras have got way clearer.
Yeah, I love how perfectly crisp a camera is, and yet you've still got like fucking like what is it, Neighborhood Watch or whatever, where they're like, have you seen this man? And he's
Just
looking
a blur.
directly into the camera and it's like 5 pixels wide. They're like, who is he? It's just like, how are you not better yet? Just fucking strap an iPhone to a fucking, like a motor or something, just so it spins. Way
Right.
better.
Doesn't make sense.
crazy.
Does it?
It's also, well, a lot of it's to do with storage space, isn't it? Because that's the thing, even though cameras have got better, the file sizes haven't got smaller.
Yeah, but
So you
like,
just
the
need
storage
mass
itself is
hard
more
drives.
accessible than ever. If you
Yeah, it's cheaper than ever.
tried to buy a 4 terabyte hard drive in like the millennia, like the early 2000s, they'd be like, this doesn't exist yet.
I was going to say, it'd be like, if that it did exist, it'd probably be thousands.
Alan Turing died for this floppy disk.
Good old Alan Turing. Rest in peace.
Can't believe he died of being gay.
Oh, God. I mean, in a way, he did, didn't he?
Technically, he did.
Yeah.
That's
Sad
a bit
that.
spicy.
Ugh.
Ratings.
Will.
9.
4.5.
6.
6.
4.5, Joe.
Oh, here we go.
It was a bit boring.
I'm not biased, but I'll rip your fucking throat out, Joe.
No, 4.5 just seemed short for what you said. I don't know.
Right,
Shorter.
5.
Hello. I don't know. What's it? Never mind.
5'9".
Ah, thank you. I was so worried that I didn't know his size.
Do you remember when we first
It's got-
started and we was like, do we do points? Point like 6, 7.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's the very first review I gave it a 6 point.
6.93.
It was 6.7. So the very first, I remember I went first in the very first album review we did. We were like, right, ratings. I went 6.7,
And everyone
you guys
was
all
like,
went,
what
"No,
the
what are you
fuck are
doing?" It's because in the early reviews, I used to mathematically calculate my score. So I used to rate every song individually.
This is the
and
amount of fun I'm allowed from this
then,
album.
and then calculate the mean average of the scores. Is how
By that,
mean
logic,
average.
by that logic, nothing would ever be a 10.
No, that's why I got rid of it. Because, yeah, like you say, by that logic, unless every song was perfect, which never happens.
To be fair, I'd listen to an Ed Sheeran album with all the songs being perfect.
Because I feel like there's always one better than the other, and if it's better than a 10, the other one can't be a 10.
Exactly.
So, like, by that logic, you can't ever have a 10. So that's why I got rid of that rating system fairly early on. I do it more off feel now. What's in the heart?
Exactly.
It scores 25.5, which is 1 point less than the other album we did.
Ugh.
1 point less.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I feel like that's accurate.
It's for reference. How long ago would you think the other album was when we did Justin Bieber Purpose?
Year and a half ago.
I think, yeah, a year and a half.
Yeah, at least 2 weeks.
So Justin Bieber Purpose was pick number 7
Jesus.
Whatever.
ever.
Oh my
It was
god.
my
Not
second.
seventh.
My second.
Yes, it was your
How many
second
albums
pick.
have we done since then, for reference?
So that was pick number 7. This one is pick number 131.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit.
We've listened to so much.
We've listened to
So
so
many
many, and
albums.
Joe still keeps picking metal albums.
I want to know how many of them are fucking metal. That's...
So it was the 14th of March, 2019 was when we did Justin Bieber's other album.
God, why are we still doing this, you know?
good.
It puts in perspective, like, this is so much of my life used up.
So many other albums I could have been listening to.
I could have listened to stuff that wasn't metal albums on some weeks.
That's true. Joe, stop wasting our time.
No, Joe, keep it coming, because
Not
occasionally
wasting
there's
our
one good
fucking
one in
time.
there.
I'm wasting
But only when Aiden picks the metal albums.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, speaking of which, my next album.
It's Issues.
Please
Again.
Yeah.
I'm picking Tom Grennan, Evering Road Deluxe.
Are we doing Evering Road?
Yeah.
Evering Road Deluxe.
Deluxe.
He's just done a
I don't get it. There's not a non-deluxe version, so what makes it deluxe?
It's because, like, Spotify seems to do this, doesn't it? Where it just overrides the old version.
Do you
I think it
he-
just came out like this though because I
Oh,
listened
you've
to
said
it.
this before, and half the time it isn't true, though.
Thank you, Denver. I remember it literally came out like this because I literally waited for the album at midnight.
I woke up like this.
Such a bitch.
What does that even mean?
It's a TikTok thing.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I only use TikTok for porn.
I should probably start recording. Oh wait, no, we're still recording.
Joe's got to do his thing.
Do a thing.
Just to let you know, the deluxe songs are because it didn't. Oh, it just came out. It did.
It did.
It's 15 and 16.
It definitely did though, because I waited till
I'm a
midnight.
massive bitch.
Just saying.
It's like a day one DLC releasing a deluxe edition straight away.
It's bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit.
Anyway, sorry, Joe. Please, your amazing joke or fact.
Got any closing thoughts, Joe?
Did you know Justin Bieber once cut his hair and sold it for £40,000?